Hello and welcome to another in my series of X-Files tutorials. Today I'm tackling Dana Scully's hair. Alright. So I'm starting off with some dry shampoo. I did wash my hair the day before this video, but my hair is quite straight and slippery, and I need a bit more texture for this type of look. So the dry shampoo, I'm just rubbing all around my scalp, making sure it's evenly distributed, and then brushing through it. Getting ready to part to my right side, which is, from what I can tell, where Scully wears her hair. And then I'll be going in with Velcro rollers, so you can see these two small sizes there, and some pin curl clips and some water, and that's basically everything you'll need. I'm following a tutorial, which you can see here by this lovely lady named Rachel Dixon, and it's for a page boy hairstyle, so a vintage hairstyle, but I'm kind of using this to do Scully's look from those seasons. And I found it was the most effective way on my hair to give it more texture and have it totally curled under the way Scully wears it. So starting off with what I'm calling my bangs, that front section, and I'm dipping my hands in that little bowl of water and then running the water through the ends of my hair. So you want to have damp hair, not soaking wet, but damp, particularly on the ends, which will be the most important part to curl under. And then I'm taking my Velcro roller and making sure to get all the ends perfectly wrapped. Amigo, you okay? Okay. Perfectly wrapped around the end of that roller. And then rolling down towards my face. And because these are the bangs, I'm going to just, as you can see, kind of go under to the right side in the direction of the parting. And then my hair doesn't stay in rollers very well, so I am going to use a pin curl clip on each roller. Taking my next section there, I'm showing you kind of the shape. Essentially, you want to go diagonally along the hairline, and I'm purposely just doing the front part first, and repeating the process. So dampening the ends, and then taking my small Velcro roller. And because this is a vintage inspired look, I'm going to be having the rollers go towards my face. More modern looks, you're typically curling away from the face, but the style that I'm going for is the Scully look goes towards the face, and another clip goes on. So I'm going to speed through and do the rest of the front of my hair so you can see what that looks like, and then I'll show you how to do the back afterwards. Rachel Dixon, whose video I'm following, I found was the most straightforward and easy to follow page boy tutorial. I did watch a few, but she makes things simple, and there weren't that many steps or products and items necessary for the look, so I highly recommend her. And she also shows you how to style your bangs, which is an important part that frames your face. Now, as a subscriber did point out, Scully does have bangs and I do not, and unfortunately I was not in a position to get myself some bangs for this video, so apologies, but the process is essentially the same. showing you the back just to get an idea of how I'm sectioning the pieces. Basically, we're just going to roll the rest of my hair, as you can see, under as well, but not all the way up. Like I'm purposely leaving the very top section a little bit more straight, and it's just the ends that are curled under. The process is the same as before, and I'm just using that one piece in the back that's done already as a guide to kind of see how far I should be rolling, because obviously I cannot see what's going on in the back of my head. I can now, but not at that moment, of course. Yeah, I found it was easiest in the back to just feel around and section the hair. You'll be able to tell based on how much hair you have, whether you just need to do it into 2 curlers or 3, like depending on the rows that you make. Also, the only reason I alternated sizes of the curlers was because I didn't have enough of all one size. But you can decide based on what you've got and how long your hair is and how much hair you have. So yeah, Scully, especially in season 1 and 2, her hair was much more layered and had lots of small bangs and pieces around her face. At this point in the series, the hair is certainly more one length, but she does wear kind of a long bang in the front. It's never a straight across bang. It's always kind of blow dried away from her face on one side, and then a little bit towards her face on the other. Okay, so I'm just showing you what the rollers should look like. Taking a breather. It was a lot of work. And just like that, we fast forwarded, and I've got my Scully makeup done, and I'm wearing my Scully blazer and badge. So this is a series of videos, so you will be able to watch how I did the makeup in another video, which I will definitely link here. So I'm carefully going through, taking out all my pins. I have left the rollers in for about an hour or 2. I would say you definitely need to leave it for at least an hour because the hair needs to dry perfectly, or not perfectly, it needs to dry completely before you take out the rollers. And as you can see there, I'm very gently taking the rollers out and rolling the curls kind of back under to ensure that they stay in place. So yeah, gently take out the rollers, and then we will go into styling. And I have watched quite a few vintage hairstyling tutorials, pardon me, and I did not realize until watching many of them just how important the brush out process is. Whenever I've tried to curl my hair over the years, even if I'm not trying to emulate a vintage look, it can be frustrating to take the curlers out and think like, okay, well, now what? So yeah, the brush out's very important, and that's what we're going to do next after I get this last roller out and give all the curls a generous spray of hairspray. So before I even touch them, I'll give them a spritz, and then we're going to start gently brushing out the curls. I'm going to be using a Denman hairbrush, which I bought years ago when I was watching all those vintage hairstyling tutorials, because it's a commonly used brush. So you can see I'm being very gentle and being very careful to brush the curls under, but by first smoothing out the top lengths of my hair so that it's relatively straight, and then using my hand as a guide, I'm going over the hair with the brush and holding it under. Does that make sense? Over and under? You can see there. The curlers work great for me too because my hair is just a little bit longer than Scully's is most of the time, so it does take off some of the length. And I'm kind of just seeing where the curls are going to naturally lie first before I fully brush them out. Like on this side of my face, I was happy kind of with where the curls were sitting. I didn't want to do too much to them. And then once the curls are the way I like them, I will give them another spray of hairspray and leave them in place. Gosh, there's so much fluff and schmutz and dog hair on my jacket. Oh well. Okay, and then moving on to the final side. Brushing and smoothing and just playing with the curls. It's not gonna automatically go where you want it. But once you're happy with the shape, like I said, you just let it go, give it some hairspray, and then the hair will naturally or not naturally, but naturally, the hair should stay kind of where you want it. It was the episode Jose Chung's from Outer Space in season 3 that made me realize that Scully's hair was really kind of a version of a page boy. And so that's what gave me the idea to start looking up that style of hair tutorial. Teasing my front section a little bit because Scully does have a little bit of a lift there, and Jillian's hair is naturally curly, and so you'll see more texture around the hairline, which I don't naturally have. I have to kind of tease up and rat my hair a little bit to get that vibe. Oh, thank God, a lint roller. I spent so much time as a kid trying to get my hair to look like Scully's. I used to wear my hair to about my waist until I was 13, and I cut it to my chin. But as a 13-year-old who doesn't know anything about hairstyling or the importance of round brushing and curlers and blowouts and all that stuff, it was really hard. I never actually accomplished the Scully look. I used to sleep with just a ponytail with a roller curled under the ends of it, thinking that that's how I would get that curled under look. Yeah, it never worked. It's almost there. It's getting there. See, like I said, you just got to keep playing with it and molding the hair until it really sits the way that you want to. Season 3 and into the beginning of season 4 was, I think, the last time that Scully had kind of old-fashioned hair, but really feminine hair as well. I thought it was when she looked her most beautiful. Into season 5 and certainly into the first X-Files movie, her hair gets much more modern. So what I did there was I put a larger pin curl clip because I was happy with the height of my bangs there. And as I finished my final brush out, it allowed that hair to kind of stay up at the crown. Final spritz of hairspray. And I think that's it. I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out, having tried Scully's hair many times over. It's this method that I think has worked the best to get this era of Scully's look. Just turning around so you can kind of see it at all angles. And I will then kind of complete the costume look. I've got my gold chain necklace on. I've got my ancient Nokia cell phone. I can say, Mulder, it's me. And there she is. Thanks again for watching. And we'll see you soon.